And so I want to go back into the impact that rap music has, kind of like how we were talking about Christian rap. So obviously, when I'm in the gym, I love rap. I listen to Don Toliver, J. Cole, Dave East, anything that gets me old school Eminem, anything that gets me going, man. I love it. 50 Cent, Lloyd Banks, but I understand the lyrics are a bit hypocritical of a way that a Christian is supposed to live their life, right? You said, you're not a perfect Christian. Neither am I. I'm not gonna pretend that I don't curse. I don't think about some of these extreme things that like rappers say. You put yourself in those environments, you think you're cool. It really gets you going in the gym.
Right.
But do you think rap is a harm to society with that in mind?
I look at anything like a tool. It's how you use it. Rap nowadays, and what's to be glorified, is now being used as a weapon to kill one another. Because in some communities, as Chicago, Detroit, Memphis, so much more, LA, you diss someone that really comes from a lifestyle like that, you're liable to get killed. Anything could happen to you. Nowadays, people aren't fighting anymore. People are really killing people. People are really shooting people. So I think that's part of what's brought harm to the society, for sure. I mean, before rap was about who had the best lines, who had the best bars. Nowadays, it's almost like almost like you got to be the biggest killer or like the biggest gangster nowadays in order to make it.
And do you see a problem when like a little kid is listening to it and they're thinking that this is okay to say or act like and like be a wannabe basically?
I think it all depends on the environment that they come from, because for an individual that comes from maybe a real suburban area, that that could influence him to do other things that's not a part of his day to day. But for some of these kids that actually grow up in these hoods, in the trenches, it's normal because this is what they see around them. This is their everyday life.
Yeah.
So it almost plays a role into their life where it almost becomes normal. What me and you think is crazy on the outside looking in is normal to some others. And honestly, moving to Miami really opened my eyes about that more. I'm originally from Chicago. That's where I was born, a little bit, raised a little bit of my life, and then moved out here to Arizona. But even going back to Chicago, grown, young, like still having friends out there, still having family out there, just knowing the murder rate, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of it is due to all what's going on in rap.
Mm-hmm.
There's like how you use a gun. A gun could be bad if you use it improperly. Music, a microphone, could be bad depending on what you're saying in it. So how are you utilizing your music? You got artists like Rod Wave telling a story. I don't hear Rod Wave talking about killing anyone, stuff like that. He's talking about pain in his life. And he's pulling in crowds like Future and Drake would pull in, selling out arenas. Rappers can't sell out arenas nowadays, man. So it's all about how you're utilizing your tool. What are you using it for? Nowadays, what's glorified is the killing, is the stuff. Mm-hmm. Kids are now being influenced in it. This is the generation we live in. Because of social media, because of how much we have access to, this is what happened. This ended up influencing the entire world to the point where nowadays, you want the name, you have to be the guy, the killer, the stand-up guy, the big boss, the tough guy. Those people only end up dead or in jail.
Yeah, it's unfortunate too because some of my favorite rappers like Young Dolph, these other guys, can't think of them on top of my head right now, but they died for no reason. They died because they went back to their hometown and then somebody who got jealous or didn't like what they were saying killed them, and then that takes an artist away from the world. But I think you're onto something when you say that there's something that it comes up with your upbringing. Like, we think that's crazy, like how you said, because we're taught don't kill, don't sin, don't do these things. But then, There's something, I don't know if you heard about this. There's something called the Gilbert Goons. This is new gang in Gilbert, Arizona, which is like the whitest neighborhood in AZ. And so these guys
Here
are
we
running.
go.
These guys are running around and curb stomping, killing kids. They're a high school gang, and they've committed murders. And so, like, you're in the whitest, safest neighborhood in America. Gilbert was voted one of the safest places to live in the United States of America, right here. And yet, you still have these people who are wannabes committing these crimes, probably because they saw a music video from there, or they saw a rapper, how they were living their life like that. They're flashing on social media. But you're onto something. It's also the way you were brought up. Those people probably never talked to their kids, or their parents never talked to their kids. They're never in their ear like my dad was in my ear. Their parents probably like were just some rich people, didn't care about their kids, how they ended up, because they're too busy making deals or whatever, chasing the hustle, and they let their kids run around and do whatever. And then this is what ends up. There's no parenting in the household. So I do agree with you on that. Sounds like they need some Christian rap in their life more so than anything else.